Welcome to World Warfare and Economics. Now, this game has just released in a bit of a huge update. It's been around for quite some time, but finally, yes, finally, they've finally fixed all the issues with it. And it's actually gone up to more positive ratings on Steam because of it. This video is sponsored by Ocron Studios. They wanted me to show off their game. So let's dive straight into it. As you can see, we have the entire world here. And in fact, I'm pretty sure we can play as whatever game we like, all the way down to some of these, I was about to say smaller places, and then I clicked on Greece. That was more embarrassing. We've got like Cyprus here, or we can go into sort of Indonesia area and play all the way over here. We can play as any of these places, but I am going to play as, of course, the greatest place in the world. No, not Senegal. I mean, Senegal is probably great, but it's not where I'm going for. Now, Switzerland is a bit of a powerhouse within this game, mostly because, well, I want to stay very, very neutral, but I'm going to put the likelihood of war all the way up to its max because, yes, this is a real simulation. Countries will go to war with each other. They'll have pretty much the same GDP. They'll have pretty much the same resources as they would in real life, and this is one of the most in-depth simulations I've ever goddamn seen. I'm going to put it back onto normal because realism was just absolutely insane. Okay, here we are playing as Switzerland, and we can once again see the whole of the world map. Now, as I mentioned, we've got our time up here. It's currently on pause. We can also speed up time, that sort of thing. But everywhere in the world is simulating everything all at once. We can see the news down here, and this will pop up with world events going on. Now, a lot of the times you see, I don't know, Russia invading Ukraine or China going into Vietnam. China also really does like to go into other countries. I mean, North Korea loves to invade Japan as well. It's all just a little bit insane. I've played a good amount of this, but to start off, we need to sort out the direction of our country. Now, of course, as Switzerland, I'm going to stay pretty neutral despite the war already at a 60.9% tension rate, which means they are incredibly likely to go to war. I mean, we can see France and Algeria already enemies, Argentina and United Kingdom, as you would expect. So things are going to kick off. But I want to sort of create a utopia in the meantime. Here we have our budget. Now, of course, we can see what our actual account balance is here, but we are not exactly gaining too much revenue whatsoever. We're going to put the budget up to, let's put it at a 20 billion. Now we can pay off and allocate some to debt as well, which will give us less budget, but put us in a bit less debt. For example, if we go here, our debt will decrease rather than increase. So I think maybe for our first year, that's probably actually a good idea to do such a thing. We'll still get 11.2 billion for our budget. Lovely. Let's confirm that. So now we've got 11.2 billion in our account balance. We'll be paying off some of the debt, and we can look at our research. Now, this starts all the way back in 1950. And it goes all the way up, and you can see some of the researches that have already been done in Switzerland at the time. 2G mobile, of course, great speeds in the 1980s there. And of course, we are now sorting and looking into 2030. Now, we can actually head into things like quantum warheads as well, which is probably not the best idea if we're trying to stay peaceful. But if we actually want to trade out, I don't see that being too much of an issue. So we can also put a budget on. Let's put 145. We can also do a bit of a budget on here as well. So let's get those researches going. We can also see our tracker for any trades. We can just see our research at the moment, but any facilities, laws, loans, trade deals, arms deals can be sorted. But the most important part really is to look at our resources to start with. We've got a bit of a deficit on aluminium, construction materials, copper, semiconductors, and energy. In fact, our energy isn't too bad whatsoever, but our main focus for now, I think, is going to be on aluminium. We can see our consumption is pretty high on this. It's 82.5, so we need to make sure that we are gaining at least 82.5 aluminium. Now we can see which countries are the best at aluminium. It looks like China, of course, are great, but actually their price isn't too horrific. The only issue with trading with China is other countries in the EU and NATO and that sort of thing will get a bit angry if we start making good buddies with them, so probably not our best option. In terms of prices, the most expensive, bloody hell, is Liechtenstein, so we're not going to be trading with them anytime soon when it comes to our resources. However, if we go down to the cheapest, well, okay, they're not even producing any, so the next one to produce is Poland here. Okay, maybe we start, oh no, that's so embarrassing. My geography is so embarrassing. So let's talk to Indonesia, where they have got some stuff to trade. Now, we can go into a trade deal, or we can increase our relations. I think what we'll probably do is let's see if we can get a trade deal to start with. We want aluminium. We need at least 82, but let's get a bit more than that. So let's go for about 100. The chance of acceptance is high, so if we put our price down a little bit, we can get a bit more. Let's add that in, and if we send them that, okay, it's been rejected. Okay, that's not ideal. Let's put the prices back up now. And what about now? Yes, okay, so we'll now start importing aluminium from Indonesia. I almost forgot where we're getting that from then. Okay, so that's a brilliant start. Let's actually set the timing going, and let's set the world in fruition. I am a bit worried about this, the world tensions, because that's going to kick off. We can have a look up here at our organizations, and we can see what we're in. Now, we are currently sort of away from everything. We're in just the monetary ones, because, of course, we're Switzerland. I am going to create the greatest utopia, no matter what happens in the rest of the world. If anybody is nuking each other, which yes, there is nuclear stuff where you can target every country. Although, as far as I'm aware, yeah, we have 0 missiles and 0 nukes as well, because we are Switzerland. But you can change all that stuff. Coming into the game as well in the future is space. It's not actually in here yet, but it will be coming in soon. So let's just wait and see our aluminium starts going up. So once we start importing that, will be at a much better case. Now, we have to check actually what we are good for. So our consumption, we've got a plenty of bread. Beverages is... We've got so many beverages as well, and animals. When it comes to things like oil and stuff like that, I'm not entirely sure how we are doing. But we can have a look at our resource list, because people are going to start asking us for oil. That's sort of the main thing that people like to do. And iron as well. So iron, let's have a look. We actually produce no oil, so we're going to have to import our oil as well. Okay, let's actually get on that, because oil is very important. Who is great at the old oil, hey? Okay, well, okay, Liechtenstein's pretty good at that as well. Sweden, so expensive though if we go down to Sweden. We might be, these guys do produce a good amount of oil as well, and we don't need a ton of it. So let's go to Uzbekistan then, and let's try and get a trade deal. So what we needed, how much oil did we need? I cannot remember for the life of me, but let's go for about 50 oil. Let's add that. Let's see, please accept. Oh, they have not accepted that. So what we're going to do is we're going to send some envoys. Actually, we're going to normalize an agreement, and what this is going to do is we're going to start working up the chain with them, and hopefully eventually we can get up to economy agreements, trade agreements. I don't think I want a military agreement with Uzbekistan, but you can do such a thing, and we can start heading up that way. But when it comes to our own economy, we need to look at our taxes. Now, we don't want to do too many high taxes, because people will start to leave, and we like people to stay and not migrate out. But because we are some utopia, we can put up our yeah, oh my god, we get so much money, even from like a 20% luxury tax. We get 138. That's brilliant. That's probably not going to make people too angry, I'm hoping. And we kind of want to keep our low income taxes down. Maybe we can put up it's going to be very lucrative putting up our taxes, so let's put it up to 13%. It's going to bring us in an extra couple bill. Lovely. We don't want to make our taxes too high, but once again, we are a utopia here. Which means that we have to be able to pay for things. You know what I'm talking about. Things like laws, alcohol awareness laws, that sort of thing. Narcotic awareness laws, healthy eating laws, some of the most important laws of the land. We've got our diplomatic mission still heading on at this point in time, and our tracker. Now, we are going to fast forward in a big way. There we go. Our aluminium is starting to come in. We've got to pay attention up here to see what goes on. And I think we're probably going to get some trade deals coming in pretty soon. We don't have any units in manufacture. I'm not going to manufacture any units at this point in time. What's going on here? We have a big deficit in CO2 capture. Right, okay. Well, I am going to, like any good government, ignore that for the time being. We will get onto that. In fact, our revenue is starting to head up a little bit. Right, Uzbekistan. I'm not so happy with that. I would like you to reconsider, please. Right, we're going to have to send some more envoys. Oh, we could actually just give up with Uzbekistan. They might just be completely useless. useless. So let's have a look at our oil again. So we need at least 40. We're a bit low on that. We're not producing any. But what we could do is have a look at some oil facilities. I don't know how well... Yeah, so none of these regions, as far as I'm aware, produce oil. So we might be out of luck. Yeah, none of these regions are producing oil. You can see that's here where we... Oh, God, it's already started. North Korea has declared war upon Japan. I told you it was going to happen eventually. Tensions are going up. And the missiles are flying. Look. While this is all going on, we can ignore this. We don't need to worry about this for now. That's not part of our deal. We are creating a utopia. We are creating a utopia. Oh, God damn it. Okay. So how are we going with our research? Our research is going rather slow, actually. I'd rather that was sped up, but we can't really particularly afford to do too much at that point in time. Oh, no. China's declared war. I told you, China, Vietnam, North Korea, and Japan. They just want to go at each other. In terms of our... I'm just trying to ignore the terrifying music. In terms of our places that do well, in fact, we don't really want that. What we want to be doing is putting down some coal. I think coal mines would be a good option for us. Oh no, Syria's declared war on Israel. It's all gone to pot. Let's start building a couple of coal mines. If we can start bringing in more coal, that would be great. This is a coal-rich area as far as I'm aware. So we could be better off that. What we're going to see now is people declaring war on everyone. Now, we've got an 81.1 happiness rating, which is insane for this game. A country with that high of a happiness rating is, well, it is already a utopia, really, but I think we can push it a little bit further. There is a famine in India, and you know what? Because I'm a nice guy, and we can go into our world events. Look, there's a famine. Oh, we've already had some people donating, but, you know, Switzerland, we know what we're doing. Donations and aids. Let's not send them that much. 26.3 mil. There we go. Let's send them a good amount of money. That puts us... Oh, my God. Why is Taiwan donating that much? That's insane. Almost a bill. A cheeky bill. I mean, I guess they're not at war at the moment, so... Oh, God. Pakistan has declared war upon India. Oh, no. It's all going to hell. It's all going to hell. Oh. It is what it is. It is what it is. Let's have a look at some of these wars. So China is really going hard. It looks like some of their troops are coming in. Now, we could actually profit from this somewhat by setting up an arms deal. Oh, right. Vietnam have absolutely nothing. I don't have much faith in Vietnam particularly doing well here, but just in case for the future, I'm going to go over here to the United Kingdom. I'm going to go to an arms deal, and let's go to missiles, and let's just see if I can purchase a couple missiles. How many do we need? 6 missiles? We'll give them a good amount of money. Yes. Okay, so we're now going to import some missiles from the United Kingdom. You know what? Let's send some envoys and become mates with them anyway, because we want to become mates with them. And if we need to, we can join NATO, but I don't think that's going to be necessary. I think the world... Oh my God, a 96.7... and in world tensions. I mean, who's going to be next? Oh, wow. Well, everybody is getting grumpy at North Korea at this point. Oh, the whole world. The whole world. I think North Korea is going to... Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen too soon. We've got our active wars down here. And yeah, China is at currently enemies with the United States, so I think there might be a war there as well. If I'm going to be honest, I'm very glad we are staying out of this. Yeah, so let's head into our sectors and we go to our education, because the whole point of having a great utopia is having a good education. So we can get assistance for each student in special education. Yeah, I would like to activate that. So that's what that's going to do. Is that going to put it into court? I'm going to be honest, I don't know if that's going to go through. Free food for students is, of course, part of Utopia, and that is active. Students dress code, we don't need that. Palestine! What have I told you about declaring war on Israel? It's alright, we can still ignore that. In the meantime, let's ban students from bullying. Let's hope those go through. Lovely. There's 100% tension in the world, so that feels like me in the morning when my muscles haven't quite warmed up. Science research grants as well. That seems like very much... Maybe let's increase support for that. So they'll get put into Parliament. We'll see if they go through. Yes, I remember, Uzbekistan, you don't like us. If we head back into our resources, now we can start taking a look at what else we need. Copper, copper, copper. Oh my god. Our consumption is so high for copper, I'm going to be honest, which is not an ideal situation for us. Who's got the most copper? Okay, we've actually got all right prices around here as well. Maybe we trade more copper with Indonesia as well. That might be a possibility, actually. Yeah. Okay. So, we're on copper at the moment. They've got a high likelihood of accepting this. We're going to need... increase 600, so we don't need that many. We do, however, need a bit of a surplus. How likely? Oh god, we are still in a positive GDP impact, so let's add that. Please accept it, I beg you. Oh no, and China's declared war on Japan. Oh, Japan is definitely going down. Okay, so Indonesia seems like the people that we have to make good mates with, so we're going to send our envoys over there. We can actually see that with our diplomatic traits. Let's see how it goes with the UK. We're going to fast forward. Okay. Well, so one of our envoys has unfolded as caused offense or acted inappropriately, probably pulled his trousers down, straining relations. The incident has sparked outrage and cause for accountability. I'm going to apologize. I will apologize. I want to keep this going, though, because I would like to become good mates with them. I'm going to be honest. We are still only in 2020, and a lot of the war is raging here. I mean, Pakistan is really getting into India. How are we going there? There we go. Our relations with the United Kingdom has increased. Oh no, we've rejected the special ed kids. That's sad. We've rejected the bans. Okay, well, this utopia is going to take a bit longer than I thought. Our revenue is not looking ideal here, so we need to start selling. We've not had any trade deals coming in at this point in time, though, so we're going to have to work on that a little bit more. And what we do here is let's normalize an agreement with these guys, send in a few envoys. We can start setting up trade deals. I think Austria maybe will be good to try and get in on their good side as well. So let's sort that out. I mean, eventually they might even ask us to join the NATO. A war between Syria and Israel has ended. Beautiful. How has that gone on, though? I'm going to be honest. This is an absolute mess around this area. But the war between Syria and Israel has ended because... Oh yeah, because Palestine has gone a bit crazy, and they wanted to come in. Okay, let's continue this. Let's see from this side. Okay, what's happened now? Oh no, they didn't want an embassy in it. Syria, you've just peaced. You've just peaced. Let's go into part on this. Hey, look, it's the eastern side of the world is going a little bit up haywall. But that's fine. We're gonna continue trying to get something out of Indonesia here. They do not want to be mates with us. I'm gonna be honest. They are not particularly happy with us. Although we have bought in missiles now, so if we wanted to, we could join in. But that maybe would not be the smartest idea. So I'm just gonna fast forward and simulate the world, let it play out for another year or so, and see where we stand and see where we're at, because there's still plenty of time for things to happen. There's a tsunami in North Korea. Well, maybe that's gonna help Japan. Speaking of Japan, how are they doing? Because they've been declared on by 2 people. Yeah, China has properly made it through now. Pakistan and India has finished their war. We've got a normalized agreement with the United Kingdom and Austria as well. North Korea has declared war on South Korea. I don't think that's a surprise to anybody. However, it is South Korea expanding up. Oh no, here come the North Koreans. They're coming down to try and get into Seoul. Oh, wow, they pushed through so bloody fast. Like, horrifically fast. Aha, there we go. Indonesia now like us a little bit more. Does that mean we can now try and get some copper from you? Because I would bloody love a bit of copper from you. There's a chance that they would accept this. Please accept it. Yes! Okay, we can start bringing in our copper from Indonesia. That has put us down to 13.2 billion income. But we still have a good amount of budget. Pakistan and India, bloody hell. The West hasn't got involved just yet, but they will eventually. Oh, there's more famine in. Well, that's the least of our issues. And the United States, they support our normalized agreement with the United Kingdom. I'm going to thank them for that, because having them on our side would be nice. Not that the US really do too much at this point in time. They're doing their own thing. But we're looking good on all our resources, I'm going to be honest. It's just our outgoing. So the way we can fix that is to start putting ourselves on the trade market into... Okay, this is getting a bit insane. China has declared war on Australia. That is going to cause some issues. Okay, we are going to have huge issues here because Australia themselves are part of many, many alliances. I mean, the Commonwealth for one. I think that's going to bring Great Britain into the war, if I'm going to be completely honest. We'll fast forward and see what's happening. But how's this war going with South Korea and North Korea? It looks like the South is actually doing a lot better than the North. Yeah, there's earthquakes. Don't worry about it, lads. I already gave money to a famine ages ago. Oh, maybe the South is actually just getting absolutely demolished here while I'm just sitting in the middle trading with people. That's fine. No, everything is absolutely fine. I'm going to start putting bread on the market, though, because at this point in time, I think that's probably our best option. And we can set up some trade deals to do so. Okay, so if we head down to our bread, let's start. What's our consumption like? 87. Okay, and we got 300 or so, so we can sell a lot. Like a hell of a lot. Let's put like 300. That's going to put it on the marketplace. Now, no one's going to take that because we don't have any trade agreements with people, but we are working on it. And the United Kingdom will be our next victim. I mean, ally on that. So they kind of like us. So let's send those over to the UK, and maybe they can buy bread because look, I live in the UK. Specifically, I live up right here. No, right here in Liverpool. And we need more bread here for our scouse, because you need something to dip into it. Anyway, Switzerland, I think, is becoming an economic powerhouse. Despite the loss of money, look, you have to spend money to make money at some point. So I don't see that as a massive issue. We've now got a trade agreement with the United Kingdom, which could start bringing in more money. People are going to like that. People do tend to like that. Despite the wars raging on, it's not really seemed to affect too much in terms of the west of Europe. I mean, the closest we're getting, of course, is here in Israel and Palestine and, well, Syria and Jordan. They're kind of all going at it. But, you know, life's life, innit? Once again, this is a simulation of the world, and it does go a little bit crazy. We've got some land units here. Now, here's a tip. Do not start moving your land units around unless you're at war, because people get very grumpy. In fact, I will show you. If I start moving my boys just around here, even just slightly around the borders, eventually what we'll start to see potentially is some grumpy messages coming through. It might take a bit of time, but yeah. So let's say if I move over towards... Oh, God, I can't. Oh, that's how far I can move. There we go. Let's just move over towards the Italian border, and let's see how they react to that. Look, there's a lot of issues here. Mental beds need sorting. Sure, I know that. Yeah. Look, these are all things that we will get to. In terms of our resources, though, we don't have full capacity here, which means we might need to, in fact, build some facilities. So if we build some facilities up, let's say in the north, let's build some facilities here. Ah, there's a flood in the UK. Well, that is very, very accurate. Oh, so our forest is pretty good in this region. So maybe if we do some like logging camps and things like that, that might be quite good in this sort of big forested area. Timber, there we go. And let's put in a good 6 mil for that. Okay, we're gonna have to wait till next year because currently our budget does not stretch that far. That's absolutely fine. Okay, so we are now confirming our next budget. So we got a good 22 bills, so we can okay, China, this is... Oh, it's a pretty fair war, apparently. Fair enough. India are heading straight in over there. So I'm going to start building those facilities that we needed. Agriculture is perfect over in this area. Cereals, yeah. Let's get some of them up. There we go. Let's get a few of those farms, and we can start working on our bread again and exporting all of that. Speaking of bread, how are we doing? We still have plenty of bread. I don't particularly know how much we're exporting of that, but our trade deals for aluminium and copper are still coming in. We've got some news here. Israel, trade agreement. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I really do appreciate that. I don't actually know if they want to buy any of our stuff though, so let's see. We've got the copper now, but we don't want to get rid of the copper that we do have. Look, I understand that the UK might not want bread, but we're going to see if we can give them bread anyway. They don't want our bread. God damn it, UK. Look, I have a lot of bread. Oh, we actually have a lot of cereal to give you. They love their toasted flakes. Oh God, we're going to have to really put our price down there if they yeah, okay, famine, whatever. Famine, we're going to have to... There we go. No, okay, we're going to have to work more on our trade deals with the United Kingdom. That's absolutely fine. Right. Well, when we get to the current day, I will see where the world stands and see what's going on. But my God. Building a utopia in the middle of destruction and violence... pretty tricky, but everybody is so happy. We're at it's going up 91.1 happiness. Look, despite the country being in severe net loss at the moment, there is still the chance that everybody living in it is in complete ignorance and bliss, which I would say classes that as a utopia. My, oh my. Everybody is so... I do not understand. I mean, I guess they have everything that they would ever need, if I'm going to be honest. But whilst the wars are raging on in the east, Switzerland is prevailing. What a beautiful sight to see.